Collective energy reading. Please only take what resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Because it stresses in you, in me, in people that's around you, because you feel it. It's like that energy. That's when you're connecting and you're seeing that's that duality, the black, the white to the grey. And you're looking at the physical, the spiritual, the mental realms. People be out here cyberbullying you, attacking you behind screens. That's that world. And it's that words can still wound. It's when people are speaking about you, they're looking at these complex phenomena. They have to grasp that ability, because that's the way I interpret it in certain things. And it's even like unparalleled. Even in like your mind, that energy, that aggression that you're putting out there. You have to create. It's looking what you're creating with that intellectual and the way you're speaking. You're exploring, you're setting yourself apart, and that's bringing that immense potential. It's profound, that capacity, because you're speaking, standing in your truth, clarity, and nose is itching. You've wise words, that you've got wisdom. You're enabling yourself to connect to the divine. You're looking at that paradigm. You're like a paradigm buster, because the way that you communicate, people, family, friends, they've got a social awareness of you. You seek knowledge. You have to have compassion for yourself, stand with balance, truth, connect to the divine. That was your strength and power when people was trying to block you, holding on to your masculine, feminine. You had to be determined to have that spiritual wisdom, to encompass emotions, listen to that spirit of inside of you. People are looking back now, listening to their spirit, connected to their emotions, standing in that feminine energy, using your intuitions, because when you're in your mind, those thoughts and those feelings, you have to encompass and looking at it from different perspectives. That's when you're looking at Mercury and you're having these confusions, the illusions, you're critically thinking and you start analysing. You have to get connected to your thoughts. That's when you have to use those intuitions. This could be a feminine, masculine, standing in that masculine energy. That's you. Listen to the spirit guides, the ancestors, that whole divine within inside of you. That's that eternity. It's looking at that consciousness of the mind. You get that awakening. That's when you're transforming and you're having that sudden awakening. You see that potential within you. That's that tapestry, or even of creation, enlightenment. That's looking at that testament. You standing in that unique design of you, that parallel world when you have to encompass emotions. That's you getting caring, connecting, having that power. Some people haven't got manners or respect because they're moving with their ego. This is people from your past. They could be looking at you. You've left these people behind. Moving forward, that's that distance and ed. They could be looking at you and wanting to be able to leave their past behind. From a witch of wands, queen of wands, holding on to them. They could have been speaking bad, doing spell work, idealistic, driven through jealousy, trying to control them spiritually, mentally, and emotionally blocked. That's that faith. That's when you haven't holding that faith. You're connecting, you're encompassing, you're looking to the mysteries of your story. That's when you're getting to that house of gods. You could be seeing you're going to have to take certain people to court in regards to children and who you were serving, even who you was working alongside with. Even jobs, when people are trying to control you in your mindset. Higher educational laws, systems, demographic approaches to the way we got learned, systematic approach from family, friends, communicating. You have to bust that paradigm buster. You have to be able to enable yourself to grow, because man is that ultimate of all things. You knew, because that was that divine within inside of you. Listening, that's you using that initiative to be able to create your reality. Intellectual speaking, you're exploring all parts of yourself, and that's that immense potential. It's profound. That's that capacity. It's boundless realms of thoughts, of understanding. That's when you got that faith, complete trust within you, expectations. That's that having that hope, that lighthouse to the higher realms awakening. You in eccentric, you being your truth, standing in your truth, speaking your truth. That's you evolving. That's you using your imaginations. That's when you're limitless and you're smashing past limits. It's those dreams. You're just outrunning people from the past, people who put you in a box, people who put you in these demographic approaches, such as when you're moving onto a state and they're blocking you, thinking you're putting you on a one-way system, like you don't know your way out of that loop. You'll just confuse the illusions. You find your way when people are trying to cause you frustration. You connect, you start communicating, you start celebrating, you don't hate. You see, when people's making you procrastinate within your mind, that's when they're causing you stress, heartache, hurt and pain. Family, friends, that's when the choices that they're making, they wasn't using their intuitions because of their values and what you valued. You wasn't able to use that, have compassion, look and find your own inner peace. Set yourself many tasks, challenges and goals to be able to achieve that. That's when you seen you had that boundless, limitless, you had that full potential. Because you know, when these are humans awakening, that was that cuboid of consciousness. You seen that black, the white, because you seen I am, I feel. These are my feminines, masculines, there I am, the feeling. choices that they made. Now they're looking back to the family, the friends, the way how they learned, childhood, heartache, hurt and pain, stress that made them flight and detached from their emotions. Why? Because they was being stubborn and controlling. And that's controlling the mind. That's when you're institutionalized and you're spiritually blocked, spiritually blind. You're not connecting to that oneness within inside of you. And that's when you're not listening to that soul. And it's going beyond. You're in there in that material, Raylene. You're standing in your higher truth, because that's shocking. You won't even have that complete trust in that story when you're knowing that these family members and friends, they got to go to court about this feminine energy that could have holding on, trying to be stubborn, controlling for family, for stability, for structures. They thought they was going to be able to grow. Now they was rebelling, and then they can see that originality inside of you. You can go into that freedom. They maybe want to be able to run for their freedom and cause for this gratitude. You're standing in your gratitude. You've got that gratitude attitude because you've had to go through these limitless, the potentials, because never been a subtle time. So there's never been a subtle time when you've had that balance, and these people, they was always rebelling. You had to keep going for that progress. That was you going, enlightening yourself, gaining wisdom, inner standing to be able to overstand. That was like you evolving. And that was ruling over Pisces, and that was visionary. So they never had a subtle time of having that joy, because it was always a karmic cycle. All these illusions, they was escaping because they had addictions, and that was deluding their mind. And that's when it makes you rebel. And then you're psychotic, and the psychic, they wasn't connected to their psychic mind. They was stressed and making it be like bipolar, because it was deep depression, and like, you know, when you're hearing other thoughts in your mind, and they didn't have that creative flash of experience. It's like that mystical parts of your tendencies to your story, and you're looking at those experiences. Some people write it in a song, some people act it out, some people create it, some people hold it in, some people don't move and have that higher clarity within their self. Don't need no drama, don't need no stress. So you didn't need no drama, you didn't need no stress. You had to have that whole faith of inside of yourself. You let go, you put boundaries into place, you had that discernment, you protected yourself, spoke, had that eye clarity. Spiritual man's ancestors, guardian angels, they remove you because they seen you as that Quality Street. Don't know how that was there. You was just that fudge. You was just saying, hey fudge, here comes Brogue, Baltoma, Anna real. You move from the left side to the right side because that was your limit. Someone help me get naked so you can teach me lots of lessons and give orgasms. So now they need to be able to get themselves naked. So they was getting themselves naked, providing a service, giving them lots of lessons, being a fool with these partners when they was thought they had these hidden skills, magic, sexual, one, energy, ace. They thought they was like in that ego. They thought they was that right one, giving their phallic away. Now they're having stress and conflict in their mind, because you're going to get extra rewards for the extra romantic gestures. I tell you, honestly, without wishing and wasting time, all the way to the bedroom. So they went all the way to that bedroom, on the night to the club, Saturday night to the club. What a headache, but I went to the club. Friday night to the club, and I said, well, I went to, and I said I went to the club. Yeah, that's what they was doing. That's a lot of money. Let me have it. So they could have been have this feminine. Let me have that money. It's a lot of money. Let me have it. They was going to take my money, so took it all at the bank. So they was going to take their money, so they could have took their money all out the bank. So you could see, they could be seeing now people were cyberbullying them. This was this richer ones, family members, friends. That could have been services, chi, 3. They could have been, the high priestess was trying to take their money, the feminine energy. Now they need to be able to see they don't want no stress. This emperor, they're in reverse because they've got no balance, no firm structures. They're having stress. They've got that lack mindset. They're trying to be able to release these emotions now because certain people was holding on, clinging, moody, selfish. And you're going to be able to get extra rewards. So now they're stressed because the extra rewards, what they give somebody for a jester and honesty. Now they've got conflict because they wasn't listening to that spirit within inside of them. Getting that eye awareness. Now they're feeling the way how they was acting. Illusions and confusions because they was going to set that money. It's that feminine for the assets, their own foundations. Now they was in their ego. They could have been seeing people's control and being stubborn. like acting like shouting, aggressive, inner childlike spirit, wasn't thinking when they was creating and who they was creating with. Thought they was being smart, you know, when you're acting like you. For these illusions, blocking and stopping because they didn't have that eye clarity. Seeker of swords, there's the truth. Those family members was being stubborn. All for money, possessions, because they wanted to be able to possess. And I'm serving and I'm mastering. So they thought they were serving and mastering. Now they can see that you're serving. You got balance, you got structures, you connected. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally. That's when they're looking now. You're part of that stability. They can see they was doing certain things for pleasure, lust, greed. They weren't critically thinking. They was just acting on impulse. That's when you're like, not like connecting the dots. You're not looking at that bridge. You wasn't curious to the relationships. That's because you was idolizing and you're watching what people have got and how they've got certain things, doing spell work, things in secret, sexual energy. People trying to dominate over people's mindset, so you wasn't able to be able to communicate, even bullying, cyberbullying you on your social networks. Trying to spell work block you 11, so you're not able to grow. So you're not getting that insight, so you can't get that justice. They're seeing these illusions now. That's because they're now looking, the masculine is looking back to their self. They're looking at their attitude, what they was putting out, how they showed their self in public, and it's that deep introspection. That's when you have to examine yourself. It's your significant others and marriages. That's that root cause of that problem where you learn who was nurturing, who was caring. That's that deep, profound, emotional aspect of yourself, the illusions, and that's that root to the ancestors. That's when they want spiritually listening. Listen to their intuitions because they were psychologically blocked in their mind. It's someone from your past trying to block you, left you behind. Now they're wanting to be able to leave these people behind because they're looking now, getting that higher clarity about the illusions. People was trying to evolve them. They could be putting blocks in place. People put blocks in towards you. You may have had to put blocks in and put boundaries in place so you could have that discernment. Higher clarity, higher awareness. This Page of Wands, because they was in that childlike, now they're getting that excitement, and you see that extravagant, fearless, creative ideas. You was creative, now they're feeling like they've got these creative ideas because they're getting clarity now. Listen to that spirit within inside of them, connecting to the divine. 8 of Swords, because they was trapped in their mind because of fear, mindset, money. Now they're having that Wheel of Fortune. Now they're getting higher clarity because they were spiritually blocked. People was doing spell work on them, institutionalized within their mind. They could have been around somebody like a church goer, creative skills, and tried to block you, speaking wise, emotionally causing stress because you was driven through jealousy, holding on for assets. That's when you'd see in those resources what they were sharing with other people. Occultist energies, astral light, they can see now they're looking at everything, and that's weird and strange because they're having this conflict. It was all about money on that karmic cycle. That's when you have to look back to the mysteries of your story and you see that distorted purpose and the illnesses and the stress and the conflict. When you want transforming and what's turning, you let go. You wasn't able to take that action. You wasn't able to walk away. To a better day, I'm running. To find another way. You walked away, you found another way. Add compassion, caring, nurturing towards yourself. Now these divine feminines and masculines, they're looking at that restorative now because they can see you as that high priestess. They can see you as that strength. You had stability. You had firm structures. They was driven through idealistic approaches. People blocking now their stress, or because they could be feeling left out in the cold. They need to lamb it. They went to Egypt. Now they're having that high awakening, higher clarity because it's that Wheel of Fortune. Now they're getting connected like one, the illusions. Oh my gosh, now I can see people was blocking. Now they're getting connected to that higher alien. You was able to transform, change. You was that fortune. You was that fate. And that was that cycle. It changed 12. Now they're connecting higher awareness, higher connections, mystical. That's that psychological. You've seen the spirit spoke towards you about your twin flame because you was that Ace of Pentacles. New opportunities, abundance, prosperity, and stability. Someone could be coming towards you. You could be finding somebody new. You've got to leave these illusions. You've got that fate. You was that one to go towards that new opportunity. They may be looking now, wanting to run back because this is this Page of Wands. Okay, Mom, just for now, So their mum, they could have had controlling. Their mum was lacking stability in that childlike spirit, causing illusions and confusions, directing them. Now, be sure to keep them out of sight. If divine masculine questions you, lie. Say anything. So if they tried to keep them out of sight, that masculine, so they were spiritually blocked, blind. If they said anything, lied, secrets, they lied to be able to hold them down with that key. They took action, love, family, friends for a child, two-faced, holding down for stability, possess, control assets, inheritances. So now they got to keep that lock so these divine masculines don't see. Stress, lock, so you're blinded, not connecting, using their trust and their gut feeling. So that they've got schizophrenia, a little strong mentally, a little runs in the family. They're looking now because it's like, you know, when you got that mental mind capacity, they've got stress, they're unbalanced, emotional, psychological aspects of their mind, controlling, jealous, stubborn, not kind of reflecting back to their self transforming. That's because they've got a lot of stress and anxiety. Holding on, it's rooted, stems because of their habits. Stems from like father figures, mothers, inherited, deep, ancestral. Addicted to medication, pills. So they could have been addicted to medication, pills, kept in balance, and then they was doing certain things because it was trapping them in their mind. They could have felt like victimized and helpless and sabotaging their self-sabotaging, not ready to transform, not looking at the aspects of their self. That's like looking at your remarkable abilities and reflecting on your mental mind. It's a spiritual, physical state of their self. It's that deep questions about their identity and purpose, that nature of reality, what you're valuing, what do you like, what you dislike, mother-father issues, love, care, compassion, and that's that awareness, and it uses you to be able to make that sense of complex systems, even like the mistress to the story. That's like psychological, emotional, school, you're going, working through life, and that's that vast mechanisms. It's like the cosmos when you're connecting, stability, harmony. That's you, structures, work-wise, emotional factors when you're speaking. Who's loyal, who's protective, who's nurturing, who's caring, who was controlling the narrative, who was being stubborn, who was making you feel stressed like you wasn't able to think and act with love. And that was you growing to be able to achieve. When certain people was rebelling against you because they didn't have a moral compass of life, like steadfast, organised. And that's the importance when you got to acknowledge. That's when they're in that animalistic state of mind, low dense energy. You have to use your intelligence and you have to see, because it's that pivotal role for that change. It's like an ecosystem. You just building yourself, those abilities. It's you looking for you to advance your own skills. Instead of staying in that low dense, you have to reflect on things, and you looking for that pursuit of your knowledge, higher clarity, higher readings, because that's when you're looking to be able to manifest the endings to the stories, because that's that balance of mind, connecting to the physical, spiritual, emotional, grow, be creative. How are you going to be creative? Because that's when you've got to be flexible and adapt to yourself. Trust your gut feelings. Not about Pal's decision, it's about my life. Just need to stop everything. So now they need to be able to stop everything, because that's that 10, 15, fear, lack mindset, that devil energy, holding on. That's when you got to break those chains. Tasha Cobb, there's power. When you connect to the Most High within inside of yourself, gain that balance, get that awakening, have that discernment, dropping at the race. Everyone will get paid by the end of the week, okay? Or month. All the volunteers get their money too. So they could be getting paid at the end of the week money, the end of the month. They could be feeling like they're just grabbing that money and just, just scrimping and scraping. That 5 pentacles, hardship. So everyone will get paid. People who they're working with, this masculine, they could owe money. Work-wise, people who they're working with. It's that Wheel of Fortune. Because told, pricker, irritating, annoying, nuisance to put us on that tab since you're the fucking boss and all. So they could have been telling people to put them on that tab. They was a nuisance. See, that's the boss and all. They could be needing owing people money and having to pay certain people at the end of the week. 9, People who were seeking certain things. 5. Institutions, schools. 5. Institutions, governmental. 5. Higher. People that could be paying. Actors, artists, creators. Take it all as it resonates, guys. Cupid, shithead, unpleasant and unpopular person. Screwed things up again. Stupid, bad, gotta eat, gotta get it. So they was Cupid, unpopular, screwed things up again because it was idealistic, driven through jealousy. Eat, gotta get it, ready to get that 10. Thought they was having that 10. It was all full of illusions and confusions. Now they're gaining eye clarity about these illusions and confusions. All for money. Or because they had that lack mindset. It could be cybering, watching you, bullying you. Because now, be sure to keep them out of sight. Shh, moving in silent. About the actions that they took. They wasn't spiritually listening. They was trying to spiritually, mentally and emotionally block their mind. So they didn't have that insight that was right about love and relationships. And you're taking certain actions. Clarity, truthful speaking. Because they was a copycat. They could have been copying you, acting like they was wise and spiritual. They was trying to control. Or because they was in that Mars energy for conflict, passion, childlike spirit, aggressive. They thought they was confident. Fake accounts. There I'm watching you, fake accounts, analysing you, trying to see the way you're moving now, you're transforming. They're obsessed. Because in the emotions, you rejected them, you ended that cycle, you let go, you identified about these illusions. You're that jackpot. You went to that jackpot and unexpected windfalls coming your way. Ace of Pentacles, that was from the divine. Because you're standing and you're speaking. You've got the power. Now you broke my heart. My heart is mine. Now they're in their mind because they're in that 2 of Wands thinking. They're moving in silent. Wanted to make this decision now. Because you never know how much things you got until you move. So you never know how much things you got until you move. Wanted to know if you was crazy. Yeah, she told me I'm crazy. Yeah, these divine feminines and masculines, they was crazy. They was taking that leap of faith with on that whim, not thinking. They wasn't being creative. They didn't use their intuitions. They crazy. That family member could have told you you was crazy, like you didn't lack balance, like you didn't have inner standing, like you didn't move with love, like you didn't connect to that deep part of those emotions and see those illusions. They told you that you was crazy, that you wasn't able to use your intuitions, that you just didn't see the connection to the inner world and the outer world and the roots to your ancestors and that succubus karmic, that most private, spiritual, fundamental part connecting. Your best friend gonna be the reason we're getting married. That copycat. 8. Secrets. 5. Doing that childlike spirit, extra energies. Leo, Scorpio. You're gonna be free next week. So they're gonna be free next week. They could be feeling free from their mind, free from their thoughts, free from out of that relationship. 8, 15. Because of that mindset, from that devil energy, releasing their self from those burdens. They've got fake accounts watching you. She met him online. Ex got other plans. Oh gosh, that fake account lurking. They met him online. The ex got other plans. Stubbed across this dude. Lots of social media followers. So they stubbed across you. Lots of social media followers. Because they could be feeling rejected. You rejected them. They may not want to reject you. Unalived in a car accident. So you can see there was something happened. They got unalived while they was travelling in a car accident. Stress and upset. End of time. Do you think it could be DORGOS with divine feminine, masculine? So do you think they could have been on DORGOS, blocked spiritually from their mind because of their attitude, the way they was acting, not making that rightful decision? Moving with love, taking irresponsible actions when they're having these relationships. Because I want to know if you was crazy. Yes, she told me I'm crazy. 2 of Wands. Because the way I was moving, aggressive, that attitude, that passionate, aggressive, ego. They was causing destruction. They would move with that rattled spirit. They move with that skeleton head. They was causing with great fire. Everywhere they went, they caused destruction because of their ego. 5 of Wands, controlling, stubborn, aggressive energy, institutionalized, their mind, their thought, what they need. They moved in that low dense energy. They all did it. They didn't think, they didn't know how to have boundaries. They didn't have discernment when they was around these copycats. They was having this extra energy, shushing themselves quiet, thought they was acting because they was in that childlike spirit, not connecting to their emotions and their mind when they was traveling around the world, fake because of money, pretending to be something they actually really wasn't. Deaf, now they're having that deaf. That's that awakening, pretending to that you're caring, you're nice, you've got these hidden skills, that feminine energy, fake accounts, extra energies with your partner try to block you, pretending they was something that they want. They could have acted like they was like really nice and caring and providing, supporting. They lacked compassion. They was insecure. Because they lacked compassion. They was insecure. They didn't have no love in their heart. They tried to mess up your relationship. Do you think it could be DOR drugs with divine masculine, feminine? Or is it their mindset? 3, alcoholics, drink, it's socializing, partying. They lack compassion, their mindset, all in their head. Drinking, partying. You was that Ace of Pentacles. You was that bridge, that higher clarity to that truth, that understanding. You spoke. You was a part of that Wheel of Fortune. You seen the illusions. You ended that cycle. You went towards that new beginning. You can see when there was around certain groups. You was that true high priestess. You wasn't able to use your intuitions. You rejected them. You was that free because you was that Ace of Pentacles. The jackpot, the ace. Now they're messing about. They messed up. They slept on you. Job 27 verse 6-7. They slept on you. Job 27, Venus energy. 6. That's thinking now in Mercury. They're about the choices. 7. The lovers that they had. My righteousness I hold fast and will not let go. My heart shall not reapproach me so long as I live. Walk with the Most High for the rest of my days. So now they're looking now because they want to be able to come in silence. They're taking that leap. They're just all going out on that whim because they don't want no stress now. They can see you as a part of that joy. They've got that higher clarity, that awakening. They're transforming their mind. They maybe want to travel towards you. Way. Because that 5 of Wands, when people was causing stress, blocking and stopping this copycat because of these illusions, spell work, lying, speaking, acting. That's why I didn't tell you. My mum told me not to do this. So their mum told them not to do that. You didn't trust me to tell me the truth. You pretended to be pregnant. Everyone knew. So they pretended to be pregnant. Everybody knew, to be able to trap that masculine. So they couldn't move towards you because it was holding on for assets. How long did you start talking to? Taking the medication. Take them. You're having an episode. So they could be having an episode. How long they've been going stress off their mind. They're feeling unbalanced. They need to take their medication. They're seeing that these fake accounts was acting fake. Now they're having this death. It's awakening, seeing. Mom, divine masculine, gonna leave me. He knows, just like Dad, he gonna take and just leave me like Dad did. So that death, the divine masculine is gonna go and leave them like their dad did because of their mindset. They couldn't take it, that controlling. That was because their mum took control. Their mum made them lie. That was like rooted a sin. Consequences to sin. Consequences to the lies. They're gonna walk in with someone where you are. So you could be at a party. They're gonna walk in with somebody where you are. A family setting. When life gives you unexpected, you just have to guess. When life gives you unexpected things, you trust your gut feelings. You listen to that spirit of inside of you. These people may be walking into places where you are. Just remember, you are that star. You are that jackpot. Now they can see that's that Pentacles. You going towards your new beginning. Somebody could be coming in See, that's a jackpot offering you this new beginnings. Speak the truth and come with balance towards you. Because they're seeing Job, the righteousness for the Most High is with you. That's that vision. And that's that foresight. Look beyond what is in front of you and dare to pursue bigger goals. Not only see the intimate opportunities, but also have that courage to envision the future. Do not let current challenges limit your light. Rise above and find that broader horizons. So you're rising that above because you are that ace. You are that true one, the divine one from the Most High. You got that people have confusion and clarity, and that was that fog. It brings confusion, and it also provides you with that opportunity to reflect in that silence, that stillness, to be able to look, gain that introspection about things that was in the unknown, transform, connect, let go. Don't idolize other people because you don't know what other people have got and how they got through that situation and transformed. That's when you've got the resources and why you're trying to dominate. That's when you have to look at yourself. Stop being stubborn, because it's that movement to pause. It's that reasons. And that staying calm, it's clarity, and it will gradually emerge from that mist. So they're going to see this copycat who was blocking because they're getting that higher clarity, evolving. Listen to that spirit within, because that's that transformation. My mum, Divine Masculine, is going to leave because that's that depth and consciousness when you're in that low dense energy. They're transforming. They was doing it for obsessions. And that's that self-awareness through that quietness. It's that moment. It's gaining that clear insight. Moving those illusions of the clouds. People blocking you. Or because it was institutionalized. Stuck. Or because of the mindsets. Or because of their mindsets. Beginnings are renewals. Spring invites new beginnings. March. Seasons of renewal. It's time to plant seeds. Whether for you, your personal journey, or your goals, a new idea, and nurture them as they begin to grow. So you being creative, nurturing new skills, you letting go, transforming, ending cycles, because that's that vitality, and you're looking at that creativity within you, creative skills, speaking. So you could be moving, gaining money from your creative skills. You're going to hit that jackpot. You'll be able to that abundance, that prosperity. That's that connecting now to that higher part. You're mastering your craft. That's you, your legacy. You're making your stamp in the world. I've got to focus right now. This is too much. So you have to get the vision. You've got to focus right now because it's too much. You let go of cycles. You encompass those emotions. Steadfast. It's that turning point. You have to look because that's that concrete part. And you see when it's karmic and it's that damage, you look and go to that dharma towards your destiny. Tomorrow, big night, we launch. So they could be looking now to launch something tomorrow. Ace, their big opening, introspection about actions, boundaries. You could see Ace, creative skills, controlling music. You could see passion, creativity, what they're moving and creating with. That's that inner strength. Gonna get me all excited and just leave. You serious? So that's that confusion and clarity. They're gonna get excited and just gonna leave. She's not my type. I don't want to be with her. I want to be with you. So they can see that copycat's not your type. They don't want to be with her. They want to be with you because it's that depth now. So what you want to tell about leaving, why didn't you tell me before we got married? So they got married. Why didn't they tell them before they got married that they want to be able to leave? For once, stop lying. She's not that. She's your psychotherapist. She told you that. Not slept. She didn't. You just did. So they could be saying, oh my gosh, I've seen these fake accounts. They're gaining wisdom about certain people. It was enabling them to be able to grow because they're seeing now that's that. Or authoritize the parent, even people who had authority over them in general. And now they can see that's that public image that's been exposed, that job where they was doing. They could just about pay their accounts. They may not even be working, feeling like they're left out in the cold now because they was lying. But they were seeing certain people and that to see a psychotherapist because of their mindset, lacking stability, got stress and conflict all in their mind, but they're trying to go and act like the balance. They'll be hiding it, trying to control those things. Even though I was disappointed not getting the best man. So even though there was disappointed not getting that best man, that could have been a friend. Okay, we can deal with this. Pretty sure I'm trying to be able to convince myself. So, okay, they can deal with this. Pretty sure they're trying to convince themselves to go towards that new beginnings because they can see that limitless potential within inside. You have to keep that vision because tomorrow they're going to launch something big. That's that big launch. Bottom to the top. That's that hot girl move. She picks growth over comfort every time. Risk speaks her tongue. Actions always outruns perfect. So foresight, you speaking your truth when people are trying to block you with these mixed signals. So you didn't have that clarity of thought. These fine feminines, masculines, they're gaining that clarity because these people have fake accounts. They're seeing that depth that they went to, that toxic attraction that they was around. All stress and conflict, all instability, all at that heartbreak hotel. They're at that heartbreak hotel. They see that hot girl charm, and you should know by now that you're doing fine. So they're in that heartbreak hotel. Oh gosh, because your energy's slaying, and that hot girl vibes that they got around them ain't so much of a hot girl. They're seeing their creative skills. It's shocking. They was shiznizzle, spiritual dis-ease from grief, stress, mental mind. They've got spiritual diseases, STIs from the mental mind. Don't put your hands on me. Are you trying to unalive me? So if certain people's trying to unalive that masculine could have tried to control and unalive them. They've got to go to court. They could be phoning police on them now and seeking information. Someone's got to tell the truth about who was being aggressive and controlling, fighting, stubborn. This is gonna got justice gonna take place. You know, I'll catch a case for my little bro. Call me. So certain people saying they'll catch a case for little bro. They'll stress. Certain people's trying to block. You don't need to be afraid. You coming with mum. So you don't need to be afraid. They could have to go to their mum now. Mum back to their mum. Don't be afraid. Divine Feminine, don't worry. Won't let nothing happen to you. I love you. Because you're that Ace of Pentacles, you're the jackpot. The two aces come out of it, you know, new opportunities. So you could have two different choices. Boy, he's going to try unalive me and you're going to let him do it. So certain people wanted to unalive you, shocking, and they're going to let him do it. Speak that truth, they're taking action. You're going to see what's the tea on the street, the gossip behind the mask. That mask is just getting deveiled. The masks are falling. People will be falling because they're seeing those illusions. They was hiding behind those emotions. Because you were self-made and independent, successful overnight. They're going to hear their stress. They're having that me versus me now because they see you're that hot girl shining. And you're triggering their ass. Oh, wow. Because they got sick and tired of these broken promises. You was unbothered about those broken promises. They're triggered. Because that's that blind date. I told you, you got some options coming out here. That's that poker face. People having this poker face. They see you are hustle mode. You're connecting, steadfast, organized, ending karmic cycles, going towards renewals. They're stressed because that's that inner child. You got creative skills. Pay mother effing day. Financial rewards. Money rolling in. All through to you, boo. Take this all as it resonates. Because that's that gratitude attitude. And when you're standing in that gratitude attitude, you see that celestial insight. Because that's that soul's happy, rekindled that connection. Transformation, change. Because you're looking, that's that initiative to rekindle this relationship or experiences. Or you're going to transform, embrace the shift. They are guiding you towards personal and spiritual growth. Ooh. Because that's that commitment, trust, and maybe honor. Someone's going to honor you, Cupid. Deep challenge. Accept. Because that's that reconciliation. All that strength, all needed. Take this all as it resonates, guys. You put your place for your mystical stories because you know you're just systematically approached. And how was you systematically approached? And how are you unpicking the mysteries to your story? Bab. So you have to be that bab, babe, for yourself. You have to make sure, map, app, zap, tab. You have to make sure you're getting that tab. That's you trusting in yourself. Getting to that high awareness. You are that gift of that Gab. Tag. Meg. People coming back to bed. Be like Tar. Bap. Gap. You're going to see that gap, babe. Tape. Map. People are finding that map back to you. And there's the itching to that gap. Tea. You're going to hear the tea about this hat. Pat. Someone want to lick you with a bat. You might want to lick somebody with that bat by the time you find out this information right back in them neck back to give them that awakening. Me. They could be saying me. The gap. Babe. Mad. That. You. They could be saying you're my boo. That thug. Mad. That thug be mad, man. Take this all as it resonates. They're looking for that path. They need that map. B. There might be a death. Unaliving, that's the spiritual one. Bath. You may need a spiritual one of them too. Cleanse that energy, release it. So you can get on that rightful path. People could be having dreams. Mean. Beam. Beam. They're seeing that light beam towards you. Take it all as it resonates.